Alright, so this is the Surco aluminum ladder made in Los Angeles. So this is what I'm going to be putting on the Ford 350. So this will go on any Ford Econoline van. I'm going to be putting on the back driver's side door. But before I do that, I wanted to paint this thing black. I didn't like the silver color. So I'm just going to paint it black. It's aluminum, so it's nice because it's really light. But paint doesn't like to stick to aluminum, so what I'm going to do is take a sander and rough it up to increase the surface area, and then put on a self-etching primer and then paint it. And I'll let you know how it goes, and then I'll do a little review on how it holds up over time after we've been climbing on it and stuff. And then next step is just to make sure you wipe all the thoroughly wipe it down with a wet rag, let it dry off, and then I'm going to paint it. Okay, I let it cure overnight, and it seems to be holding up pretty well. I'll kind of do a little scratch test here. Yeah, it does scratch off with a screwdriver. So the other thing I was going to do is just try to keep the scratching on the car paint down. So I'm going to put some foam, just kind of some sticky foam pads on each of these and on each of these feet. Okay, so I used some of this foam that I just had laying around from another project. It's just sticky on one side, but it's basically just kind of a gap sealing foam. And then this is some Butyl tape I had left over from putting the fan in on the top. So I use the Butyl tape to put over where the screw holes are going to go to try to seal those holes into the metal, and then just use the foam to try to prevent scratching once the ladder's mounted. And this stuff's really compressible. It'll be basically flat once it's installed. And I did the same thing basically down on the bottom feet. So these are Butyl tape strips and then foam in the middle. Alright, so one thing I'm noticing is the screw holes up here are going to go into this part of the metal frame, whereas the bottom screw holes are just going to go into this one layer of metal down here. So that'll be, I may only do the top ones, we'll see. And then the screw hole up here. Okay, so there's the hole on the top. And on the back, it's just going to go straight into that, so that should be okay. It shouldn't penetrate any watertight areas. I'll probably put some silicone on the back of the screw as well. The ladder actually came with some Phillips head screws, but I'm going to use these self-drilling screws. These ones are 1/2 inch. Probably 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch would work. So those 1/2 inch self-tapping screws are just about perfect. They just barely go into the gasket, the weather stripping up here. So, pretty good. See, I scuffed up my paint, put a little Sharpie over that. So right now I just got screws on the top, and you can see on the inside they don't show up at all because they're in there. I decided to just go ahead and put the bottom screws in too. Okay, I'm going to use just a little bit of this silicone here to seal the backs of the screws, just to make sure they don't let any water in there. It's a pretty straightforward install, and overall it looks pretty good, and we'll see how it holds up over time. If you found this video helpful, we have a lot more coming as we work on our 2000 Ford E350 Cargo van. So please subscribe, and thanks for watching.